Hello viewers, and today I've got another loadout that you can use in Warzone, and for this loadout I wanted to see if a Hipfire loadout is viable to use in Caldera. Naturally, this new map is much more open and there are less close quarters engagements to be had compared to Verdansk if you did play Verdansk. There aren't really many places like Hospital or Superstore or Twins or any of these sort of tight-knit apartment buildings where hipfire weapons are really useful, but nonetheless I did want to see if one of the Vanguard weapons is still up to the challenge. And so I'm using the M1912. I've gone full hipfire accuracy, so every attachment that does boost accuracy is going to be on there. And for the rest of the attachments, I'm just going to be overall improving the recoil control and general effectiveness in close quarters engagements. But before I break down those attachments for you and show you the awesome gameplay that I've got with this 1912, it would be amazing if you could consider subscribing to the channel. This is my first video post reaching 1,000 subscribers, and I'm so grateful for everyone that has done so, even if you've just watched, liked, commented and subscribed, of course. Thank you very much for doing so. If you are new here, then welcome. I try and upload videos like this every single day, and if you do like this type of content, then the best way that you can make sure that you don't miss a future upload is by subscribing with that notification bell turned on. But if you do just want to jump straight into Warzone with this Hipfire 1912, then feel free to pause the video now, because these are the attachments that I'm using. And so, starting off in the muzzle attachment slot, I'm using the Mercury silencer for that all-important sound suppression and a little bit of recoil control. Naturally, with hipfire attachments, you will find that the recoil is going to take a considerable hit. And so, as there's not really much in the way of hipfire boosting attachments in the muzzle attachment slot, I am going to be straight away reducing that recoil that is inevitably going to be decreased control-wise with the hipfire attachments. One of the main attachments for this hipfire build is this 14.5 inch shrouded barrel. It will massively improve hipfire accuracy, recoil recovery, and hipfire recoil recovery. Recoil recovery is essentially how quickly, I'm pretty sure, the end of the barrel will reset on the target after it has recoiled. And of course, recoil recovery is how quickly the bloom will still condense after you have sort of sprayed at the enemy while hip firing. In the underbarrel attachment slot, I'm using the Carver foregrip, which is great for this type of build because it does boost both recoil control and hipfire accuracy. If you've ever used a Modern Warfare gun, this is very similar to the Merc foregrip, as we are going to be definitively spraying the enemy hipfire wise with this weapon. We want plenty of bullets in that magazine, or drum in this case, before we've got to spend precious time at reloading. And so I'm using the 45 ACP 100 round drum mag. You'll find yourself that you don't really ever have to reload in a fight, especially in solos, which is the gameplay that I've got for you. We do lose a little bit of aim down sight speed, movement speed and things like that, but I do definitely think that the number of rounds in this drum really do offset the deficit. One thing about hip firing is you've just got to accept that there's going to be some RNG. And by that I mean the bullets are going to go anywhere within that bloom. We can make the bloom as small as possible, but they could be going anywhere in that bloom, and so there is a high chance that we're going to be hitting limbs. And so in the ammunition attachment slot, I'm using the hollow point rounds for a boost to limb damage. This means if any of the bullets stray to the legs or the arms of the enemy, they are going to be still dealing some significant damage, which are going to win us the fight. In the optic attachment slot in the gameplay I've got for you, I opted for the Mark III Mod 2 sun filter. Now, in retrospect, it probably isn't the best optic to use. It really is completely up to you. I'd probably recommend going for something with a slightly lesser zoom. This is a 1.5 times magnification, but there are plenty of 1.35 and things like that. Perhaps the NIDAR sight, which is very often the first optic in all of the weapons that you can unlock, that could be a great choice. Very similar to the Carver foregrip, in the rear grip attachment slot, the Pine Tar grip is going to be both boosting recoil control and even further improving hipfire accuracy. And in the final physical attachment, in the stock attachment slot, I'm using the Ragdoll T2 support stock. which doesn't necessarily give any boosts in the way of hipfire, but in those slightly medium range engagements where we may have to rely on this weapon, this stock will definitely be boosting the recoil control, recovery, accuracy and flinch resistance of this weapon, which is just going to make it a little bit more versatile at those slightly extended ranges. As I'm pairing this with a sniper, naturally I'm going to be running around from cover to cover with this weapon in case an enemy sneaks up on me. And so I'm using the fleet perk in perk 1 for additional weapon swap quickness. If I suddenly see an enemy further away, I can switch to my sniper that little bit quicker. But we also get a boost to movement speed, and so when I am moving from cover to cover, I'm as safe as I can possibly be. And in the final attachment slot in the perk 2, I'm using fully loaded because with the 100 round drum mag, you might find you're getting through some ammunition fairly quickly, and so it's just nice to have what is pretty much a drum and a half spare as soon as you pick up your loadout. But let me know down in the comments if you do give this weapon a go, and you will be seeing quite a lot of the sniper rifle as well. If you have made it far into this video, then I should mention that of course, because this map isn't so hipfire close quarters oriented, I tried to use this weapon as much as I could by rushing the enemy after getting a decent snipe on them. But anyway, I do really hope that you enjoy the gameplay, and so leave a like if you do enjoy it and subscribe if you'd like to see more. Thank you very much for watching, and enjoy the gameplay. This guy that started shooting me on the bridge followed me all the way to these rocks here. Didn't know at the top. I knew he was here from the back. We definitely both missed our fair share of shots there, but luckily the loadout is about to drop. So I want to start heading down in that direction, but as always it does drop with others. Very lucky that I got the supply drop. Loads of money. Grab some UAVs as well, just in case. Perfect timing, so I know that the how populated the loadouts are. There's 2 players in that direction.
I want airstrike fire here.
I might as well use that up. There we are. Here's my Hipfire M1912. And the first thing I'll probably mention is just look how small the crosshair is. Bear in mind as well, I'm on console, so I don't have a field of view slider, and it's already an absolutely tiny crosshair. So it is obviously going to be very good, at least initially, for that hipfire spray. Just got to try and keep an eye on these 2 players, and there is a truck coming in as well. I don't want to go straight for the loadout because chances are they're also going to be watching it too. I think at this sort of range though, where I'm probably going to be engaging, I'm realising I'm going to have to use my sniper at least a little bit to whittle them down and then finish them off with my SMG. That guy's just rushed me. Another guy's just used some kind of rocket launcher on me.
UAV beginning flyover.
There we go. Very, very fast time to kill, I'd say, with this M1912. So that's one person taken care of. I'm pretty sure someone got their loadout and they had ghosts, so I'm expecting there to be a couple more people about, to be honest. So there was a red dot up here. Very hard to see through all this underbrush. So still a bot, there they are. And there's the red dot I was looking for, but he's got a suppressed weapon by the sounds of it. Random person dropped on the floor. There's the down. Need to get the finish. Got a self-res. And there we go. Don't know if any of you just saw that guy that just randomly dropped in from the gulag. Completely forgot to pull his chute. And now we've got just this last guy to deal with that did the majority of damage to that person I just downed. There he is. There we go. And finished him off. I think now is as good as time as any to go and get Ghost myself now, because people are going to start buying UAVs and stuff. Fun detected. Krampus is hunting me. No idea where he is. Well, that's a jump. That was a jump scare if I've ever seen one. Annoying as Krampus is, at least you did get to see some footage of the M1912 Hipfire, or sort of Hipfire. Definitely at the beginning when he crept up behind me. He's got no footsteps.
Enemy UAV active.
That's going to be his UAV, but I've got Ghost now, so he doesn't know about me. If I go and get a couple UAVs myself, hopefully I'll have a good chance at hunting him down.
Area recon, please.
Right, so he's on the
UAV
move.
beginning flyover.
Where is he? There he is. Noticed one thing with this map. Trigger discipline is very, very important because there's so many places you can so easily hide. See as well, Krampus is back hunting this guy. Pretty much ruining his game because it looks like he's definitely hunting someone. Maybe he's got a bounty or something like that, and he's trying to hunt that guy while also stopping crap. Yep, there is two guys. Look. Let's see what happens. So they're fighting. One's gone down. Krampus is behind him, and yep, they're both dead. And Krampus has just ruined that fight. I mean, I potentially could have got 2 kills then, but I didn't want to get too close and then I get aggroed by that Krampus. Anyway.
Final deployment is loading up. Get out there and finish this.
Right on the edge of the
Get to
circle.
the new
Oh,
safe
and
zone.
there is someone
Gas is closing in.
using my favourite skin. Need to try and get a good shot on him. And then I've noticed there's someone. So there's 2 in there now. Let them finish each other off.
Down to final 10. Come out on top.
Well, one of them died because I had their body fall to the ground. I need to get a sniper shot off, and then I can rush with my SMG. Oh, he got the drop on me then. Got to armour up. Pick a slightly different angle, because from there he can sort of pop up at both, can't he? I'm more in control here. There's the armour break, I'll take that. Go for the flash. Up the ladders. And there we go. So you can see, Hipfire is only really useful in a building, and I mean, oh dear. and there aren't that many tight-knit clusters of buildings really, especially compared to Verdansk. But I mean, you definitely saw how effective that was just then. I've got to move now though. The circle has sort of centered itself. There's a player. Pulled the trigger a bit too early then. Hit him in the legs there though. Could still be someone in this direction actually. I've just got to rotate, I think. Okay, 2 other players left. There's one, he's just killed someone. Lovely.
Gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
Right, 1v1. There he is. Broke the armour. Oh. And then that miss may or may not have just cost me the game there, because the circle has moved into a very open spot. And he had the advantage. He had a medium long range AK. And unfortunately he got the win, but that's just how it goes sometimes. But anyway, thank you very much if you did make it this far into the video. I might actually do another video for this Hipfire M1912, maybe some duos gameplay, so do keep an eye out on the channel for that. But anyway, thank you very much for watching, and let me know down in the comments if you do give this a go. Second place, 6 kills, not bad.